Hello and welcome to the Car Care Nut channel. Folks, today we have a legend. This is a 2010 GX460. In my opinion, as a Toyota technician for over a decade of experience, there are a few cars that are just the top best that Toyota makes. This is one of them. And another one is that LS430. And another one, which we had earlier in the day, was an LX470 Lexus, which is basically a 100 series Land Cruiser. This is basically a Prado, or is it actually very related to the 4Runner, which is another one. So the GX470, 460, the LX470, the 570, Land Cruisers, 4Runners, and the LS430 or the 400. These are the top Toyota and Lexus models, the best of the best. All Toyota models are good, majority of them are good. These are the best. And today we have the absolute privilege to look at this specific car. Now this specific car has 95,000 miles, and you will not believe the condition that it's in for a car that has 95,000 miles. Barely broken in for these, but the condition, this looks brand new. It's a 12-year-old car. The owner of this car is an absolute car care nut. He wanted one of these, and he spent a very long time looking for one. Did not want one with rust. Went all the way, very far away, to buy this from the south where there's no rust. And at the same time, it has not been baked by the sun in the south, because again, southern cars, if you don't have rust, you have sun and heat, and that also destroys cars. We're going to take a tour of this car, and you will not believe the condition of this thing. We're going to lift it up, take a look underneath it. He brought it here. He wants all the fluids replaced and all the maintenance done, and that's what we're going to do. But let's take a tour of this car, and your mind will be blown. You'll know why these are some of the best. Let's start with a walkthrough on the outside. I mean, the headlights are not yellowed. The paint is in excellent condition. I mean, this is unbelievable for a 12-year-old car. Not even rock chips, and the reason for that is there's actually an invisible cover. You see it right there. This is unbelievable. And this is the kind of owner that takes true pride in their ownership. And not only that, they're actually a brush type owner is what we call them. They're kind of owner that takes a brush and cleans every little thing. The wheels, no curb rash, no nothing. Nice chrome, looks beautiful. Everything inside is clean. And this is a rust-free car, so we're gonna lift it in a bit and you'll see it. Absolutely beautiful. There is nothing on this car. Not a single dent, not a single ding, nothing. This is exactly how you would see this car back in 2010, brand new. Going over to the back and the iconic side opening door. He has some items in the back, so I'm going to respect his privacy, not open it, but the trailer hitch, not a single dot of rust, nothing. Nothing on this car. That's, when you look at the side profile, you see the reflection. Not a single ding, dent, nothing. This is unbelievable, folks. And I have to admit, this is the next level. You look at the plastic here. It absolutely has not even a mark. Like nobody has ever touched this. Same thing on the other side. Nothing. And then we look at the interior. This is where things go to the next level. Folks, would you look at this color? This is such a beautiful color, but it's such a non-functional color because you touch it, it gets dirty. That's how this color is. And you notice that the owner put these covers just to keep cleaning easier, because look at this beautiful, beautiful color. I mean, this is unbelievable. First, how clean it is, and then this beautiful color. And then the interior. I mean, usually you look at clean cars, you look in the vents, you see dust. There is nothing. This has been cleaned with a little toothbrush. You will not see a single piece of dirt in this car, and I'm so afraid to get in it because I'm working, I don't want to get it dirty. We got some WeatherTech floor mats. By the way, not a sponsor or anything. WeatherTech is the best floor mats for these cars, folks. I've been using them for a long time. Their factory is like 20 minutes away from my house. I love them. They make like perfect fit floor mats that really work for the winter, so it keeps the salt and everything in. This has air suspension, which you see that sticker right there. Usually that's long gone by now. What a beautiful, beautiful interior. Let's look in the back here. This has the optional TVs in the back, which are pretty redundant these days, but they're there. What a beautiful color. And he has another cover here, but I want to just peel it and look at this. Look at this headliner. Beautiful, beautiful shape. Now the question is, see the interior, just look at this carpet. Nothing, not even a single stain, nothing. Granted, he just bought it, it's been detailed, but he got it from the dealership and his exact words were, I re-detailed it the right way. And that's why this thing is the way it is. But the thing about cars, anybody can detail a car, anybody can shine it up, do the paint and whatnot, but where you really see a car that's in good shape is when you look underneath it. So let's put this thing on the lift, I'll remove the covers, and we're gonna take a look at a rust-free 12-year-old car that looks brand new underneath. All right, let's start our tour underneath the beautiful GX460. And folks, would you look at that? There is not a single thing of rust. This is about it. There is nothing on the frame. I mean, usually 12-year-old car in Chicagoland, you'll see some rust, some crusting, if you would. And the only oil leak I see, and it's not really an oil leak, but just an oily area, is the place where the selling dealership did an oil change. Didn't clean it very well. That we're doing another oil change because the owner does not trust it. And another place is the sloppy oil change. You see a little bit of oil right in this area. That's probably blue from the filter because they did not clean it. This is very typical. Folks, look at this thing. There is absolutely no rust. This has KDSS. No leaks, no issues, nothing with the KDSS shock. Really hard to see it. Front differential, again, no leaks. CV boots, the CV boot's good. This one as well. The CV boot's good. That one as well. Front shocks are good, no leaks. Same thing here. Tires are in excellent shape. Not worried about the tires in this one. Brakes, I already checked them, hard to see, but they are good. Looking back here, I see the remnants of grease right here. That means this has been greased regularly. So this is a good sign. But when you look at this exhaust, you will never, ever see exhaust that looks like this in my area. And the one thing that I wish I could show you on video, I hope you can see it very well. This bolt right here for the cat shield, usually these are rusted when the car is like 2 years old. This one looks brand new. I mean, it still has color. This is just unbelievable. Look at these connections. Usually these are all rusted. This is just exposed metal. They look brand new. Exhaust looks beautiful. Transfer case, and the best part is when you drive in salt, aluminum kind of oxidizes and it has this oxidated look. Nothing. I see nothing. Usually you do this to it, you'll have all kinds of flakes falling off, like that white powder from oxidation. Nothing. Transmission, no leaks, nothing. Again, this is unbelievable, folks. And this is the kind of transmission that has the thermostat bypass right here. You gotta press this when you do a transmission service. Over here is the AC drain. You see it, this area gets wet regularly. This is something that starts to rust these cars, but if you relocate it, it should be good. Going back on the frame, oh my God. This is just, you just don't see cars like this in my area, folks. Maybe if you live in the South, this is the norm, but this is definitely not a 12-year-old norm for us over here. We're used to rusty land. This is pretty much it, and this is nothing. This is not even surface rust. Same thing with the U-joint over here. I see some remnants of grease being flung around, so this is regularly greased. Rear end looks beautiful. Here's that KDSS shock with no leaks, no issues. This has air suspension in the back. It's pretty nice. No leaks, and Mercedes-Benz, if you are watching, this is how air suspension should be made, not how the Airmatic is. Yeah, I own a car with Airmatic, and let's just say they're nice when they work, which is not always. Rear brakes are good, hard to see, but you can see the pads right there. They are really good. They have plenty of life left. Going to the back, this is probably the original spare tire. Yep, there's the date on it, 10/10, so that's 10th week of 2010. This is the original spare tire, likely has never been on the road. What a beautiful shape this thing is. Just look at the trailer hitch. Nothing. Usually these are rusty, even in the cars that are preserved. This is rusty and all that stuff. Nothing. And the owner probably, when he sees this, when he gets the car back, is he going to lean underneath it, clean this? Because he's that kind of careful person that takes care of the car. But folks, this is incredible. You see a car in this shape, this is a definite go. With good service history, with no rust like that. There is only one thing that I saw in this car that is actually a concern. And I'm going to try to point it out for you. I see a remnants of coolant right there. I hope you see it right in this area. Potentially a water pump is leaking or have leaked at some point. I don't see it leaking right now. I'm looking at it. It's really hard to see it on camera, but usually you look up, you'll see all kinds of coolant. That is the only thing we're going to keep an eye on. This might have been an old, actually, now that I'm looking at it from here, yep, we have an active coolant leak from the water pump. Impossible to show on camera. I'm trying, but I'm just looking at it. I don't think you're going to see it, but that's the only thing. This is one of these common problems with these cars, is coolant leaks from the water pump. Another common problem on this engine, not on this particular car, is cam tower leaks. And looking at it right here, I see nothing, no oil leaks whatsoever. It's really hard to show you, but if you look in this area up in the engine, right on top of the cat, you'll see it. I see nothing. This one is a lot more tricky to see. I also see nothing. Usually you can see them through here. Right there, I see no leaks. Same thing on this side. I see no leaks in that area right there. So that's good. We don't have any issues. What a beautiful, beautiful car. I mean, 12-year-old car. All it needs is a water pump. And this is not exactly a difficult water pump. This is such a beautiful car. One tip about cars and lifts. If you ever find your car on a lift, this would be the time to look for accident damage, especially when the shop is well lit. I mean, when you put a car high up like this and look at the paint, you can see everything. I mean, I see, now that it's high up, there's a few micro scratches here. Looks like something like scraped up on it. You can see the buffing marks. You can see everything when it's high up, because you can see the reflection off of the white wall in the shop. And that's where you can truly tell if cars have been in accidents or not. We look at this side. I mean, this thing has not been in a single accident, you could tell. But this is where poor paint will show. Cars that are painted will show, is when you put it up on a lift and look at it from this angle, reflecting off of a white wall, you'll see everything. And this thing has nothing. Few minor scratches when you get lower, but at the top it's all clean. What a beautiful truck. I am in love, folks. I have to admit, I really like these GXs. And then something you will be very hard to notice, there's actually a tiny scratch here that was touched up. I hope you can see it on camera, but when you look at it from far away, it's very clear. It's right there. Probably harder to see on camera, but in real life, you will immediately see it. And then over here, when you look at the bumper, see like a haziness? That's actually the tire shine. This is something I'm going to talk to the owner. Tire shine is a bad idea for cars, especially the one that gets sprayed on all over. And you see how the wheels are scratched right here? That's because of the tire shine. Tire shine is not, it dries up the tires, goes on the brakes, makes all kinds of problems. You can see that spot on the brake, you see those lines? That's what tire shine does. Not good. This is more of look good versus function. I'd rather have the function than look good. I don't even like how tires look shiny. Not a big fan of tire shine. Folks, when you're shopping for a car, this is what you look at underneath. I see so many people that look at cars and they check them and they look at everything, but they miss underneath. This is where the true story, this is where the dealership that's trying to sell this car and hide its faults will not detail and clean. This is where you see the car as it is. And this one is in excellent shape. But sometimes, like today, I had a GS350, an old one. I think it was a 99 or something like that. Looks beautiful on the outside, but when I tried to lift the car, the lift went right through the body. It was completely rotten to a point where I recommend to a customer, this is not a car you want to keep. Just move on, because if it's that rusty and the frame can't even lift it, how are we going to fix anything? So this is the true test. When you're buying a car, ask the dealership. Put it up in the air. Let me see it. If the dealership says no, walk away. We don't want this car, because what are they trying to hide? I mean, all this inspection on this 12-year-old car, all I see is a leaking water pump. You see this, you negotiate the price. You tell them, hey, the water pump is leaking, fix it, or lower the price accordingly. Hard times to find cars or not, this is how you negotiate cars, by the way. Let's lower this car and let's look under the hood a little bit, and we'll wrap up this video. And when you look on used cars, this is another thing you want to do. Pull the engine cover and look. Do you see rodent damage? Do you see remnants of somebody's been here and nothing lines up and all the clips are missing? That's usually your telltale sign if this car is as is from the factory or has been taken apart. Just look around, and in this one, I mean, the valve covers are not oxidated. They look beautiful. This is a beautiful car, folks. I know some of you will say, well, it needs a water pump, this and that, but this is nothing. This is nothing. And this is a OEM replacement battery. This is not an OEM battery, which is expected. 12 years old. I don't expect the battery to last this long. Beautiful shape. Paint protection applied. The film, somebody applied it. Here's the sticker of that company. But I am in love, folks. And the only other thing other than the leaking water pump is a missing clip. Let's fix that real quick. I was just working on another car, and it's not the OEM clip, but okay, much better. Okay, so that's fixed. We just got the water pump left. So there you have it, folks. This is a tour of one of the best Toyota and Lexus models ever made. And this is a pristine example of that. You find a GX470 like that, this is a good buy. They have terrible gas mileage, but you know what? Gas prices are expensive now. I hope they drop, and we are able to buy cars like this and drive them. Lexus and Toyota are slowly moving to get away with these cars, and now they're replacing them with smaller engines and all that. Some people like it, some people don't. I like new technology, I don't mind it, but it's not really the engine that makes this a great car. It's the interior, everything that is built. Just like that LS430, just like the LX and the Land Cruiser, this has that tank build quality. And I hope when they update things and we get a new V6 and whatnot, they keep that. They've kept that on the LX, which is nice. I just hope they keep it in the GX as well and the Prado overseas. And before we wrap up this video, I want to add one more thing. When you have one of these cars that has air suspension, Many people assume they're not like Audi or Lincoln or somebody like that, that you need to shut it off to lift the car. That's actually incorrect. When you have one of these trucks like the LX, the Land Cruiser, that has hydraulic or air self-leveling air suspension, you need to turn it off. On the models that have an off button, you need to leave it in the off position, then shut off the key, lift it, we're good. On the models that do not have an off button, put it in neutral. So you have low, high, neutral. Neutral is what we want to be before we lift the car. So put it in neutral, shut it off, not neutral transmission, neutral the suspension. Just want to make sure that's clear. So that's how you lift these cars safely without causing issues with the air suspension. Folks, I hope this video was helpful and informative. I hope you learned something new. If you like it, consider giving it a thumbs up. If you're not a subscriber, consider subscribing to the channel. Check out some of my other videos. And until the next video, folks, may the Lord bless you and keep you. And you have yourself a wonderful day.